Okay, we're back with another video. Now, I know some people are having trouble fighting the post-game bosses, and some people, well, don't really fight the post-game bosses at all, because they don't feel like they need to. And to that I say, you're half right. So before I go into the fights, I'm going to just explain something real quick. Because when it comes to 100%ing this game, you do need to fight this boss to unlock this boss. Fight this boss to unlock these two bosses. But this one is not, whatchamacallit, necessary. I believe it is just these two right here. Those are the only two you have to fight. And these two. Those are the only four. That one is just something extra. If you're really, really interested in proving yourself and want the ultimate challenge. Even though, to be fair, I would say the Maze of the Mighty does offer a variety of challenges. Might make a video for that too, for Maze of the Mighty runs in solo player. Alright, so we're gonna probably take on... which boss I'm gonna take care of first? We're probably going to take on this boss first. Both versions. Come back soon. There might be a couple of mistakes here because I haven't done it in a while. But we're going to try to go for a very, because while you could just fight them normally, there is a way to make these fights go a bit easier. Now, I understand that not everybody wants to fight, switch characters extremely in order to...
Well, hello.
Extremely, but the payoff is like astronomical, I would say. Some situations, you're just gonna have to switch characters. In some situations, because this first boss that we're going against, this super boss, can get real nasty as the as time goes on. So we'll just go on a basic setup that I've seen from somebody else, who I don't think made a video about them fighting X-Start, by the way. Yeah,
consider me your personal bodyguard.
Okay, we're gonna make a slight adjustment. We're gonna do. So
consider me.
Right, so and away we go.
This is a slight variation of their team. They would usually have the other girl, whose name I really can't remember off the top of my head though. Cannot remember off the top of my head. All right. Oh, I better as well give him his Uber weapons. Yes, yes, more ability, more damage. More ability, more damage. Decent enough. Okay, so let's see. What do we need here? There's going to be a lot of strength boosting here, so everyone's going to probably be running strength rings and prayer rings. Pretty sure I have multiples of them. Alright, I need everyone to have prayer rings. I'm pretty sure everyone has prayer rings. Did I run out of prayer rings? This is what I usually have 4 on me. Name. I would hate to grind one off. Okay, there it is. Yeah, okay. So, third item, let's see what would it be. He's got to be able to maintain this MP recovery, so we're gonna give him the Source's Ring. Just because. And we can run this because we can go for a high offensive build. More MPs is going to come in handy. Orb of Enlightenment, Orb of Enlightenment, and Dark Orb. Yeah, you know what, that's not usually how I do it, but wait, why do I have her here? Really? I feel like I did something wrong here. Oh, I got the girls mixed up, that's what happened.
Well, hello.
I knew something was off.
I knew you would choose me.
Right, so.
Don't be a stranger.
Well, that was funny. Getting her mixed up with her sister. I guess it was bound to happen eventually. I guess I could go for this too, because she does do spell damage. I mean, she does have it. I guess we're still using Dog Caller for this. If we only have the patience to grind out too. Would be fun to grind out more. But I'll do that later. That's more of a... I'll make a completely different stream, because believe it or not, going around and harassing Atlases and grinding those is actually... I think it's a fun enough stream. Just seeing how badly you can beat them down. In my opinion. Or just redoing story mode and re-rolling, whatchamacallit. Re-rolling my stuff. Okay, so let's see. Dark Orb, two Orb Enlightenments, and Orb Leo. Now let's see. This fight has to go in a particular manner. So what are we gonna need for this fight? What would help the... we gotta help the bots too, to an extent. So we are going to give them something to help them survive through the fight while they're putting up with us. Ooh, wrong one. I really would just get critical facilities, and that's probably what it has to be. Alright, critical facilities. For a brawler. Hypercritical. And the most important one of them all is Special Effect Artist. Okay, let's just go over that then. All three critical facilities, followed by Hypercritical. Palidax for the increased block strength, as you're going to need that. Your team is going to need that when they're tanking through those hits. And then Special Effect Artist. All that stuff is very important. Alright, then that's it. Skills. Well, we need a skill that puts him to sleep, and we have the Dream Dagger. And everything else doesn't really matter. Let's see, she drops defense, drops a tower, and drops cards. All that makes sense. I guess he'll be stuck in place, so she can go for a whoosh too. And it's important to have... everything else is just situational, really. Probably couldn't get away with Hyper Sniper, so... if the bot's in the mood to go Hyper Sniper. Maybe even this, too. But we don't want him to cycle between both. We gotta keep him focused. And for this, oh right, he's here. We won't really be using much of him. Even though we should. Well, he is the last slot, so... oh right! Tag tricks. I forgot about that. He'll switch into a tag trick, and then he'll go in and do his massive damage. Alright, well, how did I forget about that? This is a team effort.
Welcome to a humble inn.
Alright, I believe that is the setup. because their placement is kind of important. And we'll just let the cutscene play because it's kind of important. Again, a slight variation to a person who I've seen on YouTube. I really should put his name up too. I want to give him a shout out for at least attempting the boss fight. I mean, I got a chuckle out of it, even though he failed, but hey, doing it is just shows how cool you are.
My turn, huh?
Alright, that shockwave is super important, by the way. Oh, thank you, Angelo.
My turn, huh? Here we go!
Here we go! And that's how that fight would go.
Told you I was top of the class.
I believe that is the best drop you can get from him at this level. Anora Calcum is pretty damn important when it comes to crafting. You can also get it from the, I don't want to say type goes, the Crimson Killing Machines, I think they're called. Yeah, I think you can get it from them. Okay, next fight. Now, one would assume that you could do it the exact same way. That is very possible, but you want to make a slight change. We still have our two healers, but you might want to have people turtle up a little bit, and I think we have the best defense we can get our hands on. So here's what I would recommend here, because you do have a secondary character, and you're just gonna have to accept the fact that maybe you might have to switch to your secondary character, because it's kind of important that you have this. Or I guess we could train something else. Maybe you don't have to. Okay, so we're going to make a slight change to our abilities. Let's see. We still got to have this. We still got to have this. Let's take away the crits. We're going to have concrete block, because that was also something. We need to increase their blocking power, because they do block, by the way. And then add in one more special thing. We may not need it, but this evasion boost is important. Alright, so before I go into the fight, I do want to preface that while the setup will be nearly the same, the difference here is that he's going to make 3 different shockwaves. And there's fight, by the way. If you want to be stingy and not switch weapons at all, you would just go for a high evasion boost. And I kind of want to step out into the field real quick just to show this off, because this is still kind of important. Because the game doesn't really teach you this sort of thing, and most people wouldn't even know about it at all. And I don't blame you, by the way, because most people dodge the same way. It's like, there's no other way to dodge, right? Aside from jumping over attacks, by the way. And they do look the same. Like this right here, looks exactly the same. Actually, I take it back, this dude has 3. Some characters have 3 different dodges, by the way. This is the first type of dodge. You know, using your control stick to avoid attacks. depending on your and I'll show you the stat real quick. What it's referring to. All right, hold on a second. All right, how do I look at this? Oh boy, okay. How do I do this? Attributes, that's it. Now I bumped it up pretty decently far to 50. Which is pretty huge. That dark orb gives, and that's a post-game item by the way too. That was the first dodge you just saw by the way. Where you're just dodging any direction. Now the second type of dodge is, you're not gonna, it looks exactly the same, but it's the difference between you using your analog stick and not using your analog stick. This offers a bit more invincibility frames. If you're not using any analog stick input, you get a little bit extra. And this can make you survive a lot of things that you wouldn't think you could survive. Almost scot-free. And then we have the third type, which is reserved for certain characters, by the way. This may not seem like much, but this maintains your speed. And, because usually you're stuck to doing the walk speed and stuff like that. This can help you get in and out of situations quite quickly. As you can get better positioning. I mean, sure, I have this that does it too. And I think maybe one other character has an even better variant of it. Funny enough, I saw this do from another guy do it a long time ago. Now, kudos to the other guy. I really gotta start putting these names out here. I just can't find my like videos. Like, I don't know where they are. Okay. Same setup. But if we were going to do the fight correctly, this is what I would recommend. Switching to a sword. Oh, we have this. Because the sword does have an ability to parry stuff. And that's if you plan on fighting this thing consistently. Alright, I guess we're gonna have to... But we shouldn't have to need to use that. We'll just stick to what we got right now.
Welcome to our humble inn.
If things go south, then we'll switch up a bit. Who knows, we might even fight him a second time, it just depends. I better look at my team synergy real quick.
Come back soon. Welcome to our humble inn.
And I do want to start off with a better character. Start off with this.
Right, so, and away we go.
And, I know he's important to lead off with.
Consider me your personal bodyguard.
Right, so, and away we go. Right, so, and away we go.
All right, let's get to it.
I knew you would choose me. It was written in the stars.
Should we throw a monkey wrench into this? How should this work? Because tactics are kind of important. Like, really following after that sleep thing, I want him to have his ice swords. And then him to get everyone back together.
I knew you would choose me.
And then her.
It was written in the stars.
That's about it, really. Again, 3 different shockwaves. Now, you might have to adjust a few things for the extra damage output. Now, he always does that twice. Messed that one up. That's about it. Barely. We'll be able to go ham soon enough. No damage, okay. Except for that. Ooh, ran it that bad. Alright, so an important thing, if you're reviving somebody, definitely want to use, whatchamacallit, Angel at all times.
Must I do everything myself? Let's go. Here we go.
Ooh, nice finish. Okay, aside from one accidental kill because I tried to tank the wrong move the wrong time, it went well. The extra defensive boost sure did help the characters out. And I was awarded twin sword shots. 4 more of those, and I was able to make my uber weapon from that. It took double the amount of time. Like I said, I made one mistake by getting Tornico. So Tornico's job is done. He will be benched.
Come back soon.
I thought I had to switch characters, and the other evasion boost stuff actually was a waste of time, really. As blocking it. And there was something else I was doing in between that I didn't describe, so let me step out to the field and let me try to explain what was going on. Again. Because there's actually other ways to defend, believe it or not. I mean, I could just tell you what it is, but I have to explain it while it's happening. Obviously, you know, this is how people attack. That's all fine and dandy. You have different combinations and stuff like that. Obviously, we know what blocking is. I know it's something that most people don't really consider using whatsoever. They figure, why would I block when I can do this? And evade, completely ignore damage. Well, what most people would never really understand is that you can block while you're attacking. During a strain, you can hold the block button. And it makes any normal attack like this safe on block. Well, just safe in general. You're always in a defensive stance. Provided you're only using normal attacks, by the way. You have to be using normal attacks for that to work. Once you go into special attacks, you ignore that defensive benefit. Which, that glitch might be a throwback to something in Dragon Quest III, I believe. Alright, thank you for your services. Alright, so I gotta do this a little bit differently. Now we could probably bring back the other girl.
Well, hello. Time to put my training into practice.
Consider me your...
I knew you would choose. Don't be a stranger.
I'm sure I could find this guy's name. I just for the life of me don't know how to navigate my stuff on, like, my cell phone when it comes to looking at YouTube. I just want to look at my likes list. That's what I want to do. Oh, I didn't turn my computer off. Which I didn't. YouTube. I just want to get the guy's name. Like videos. Where is it at? 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 Ah, here we go. Smiley Jack. That's the guy's name. Yep, Smiley Jack is the guy's name. This video is dedicated to him, and for all I know, he could be the same guy who's sending me the friend request on PlayStation. Alright, there's not really much of a difference here in setup-wise. Except for maybe this. I forgot I had multiple of these. Well, since we are dealing with the Dragon Lord, we can't probably afford a little bit of extra defense here. %, to be exact. Both characters have dog collars, but only one really needs it. Well, I take it back. It's a Titan build. He can keep the dog collar. Let's see. She doesn't really need both, but she can get away with... She's different. She can get away with both having a strength ring and a socket lock at the same time. At least for this fight, she can get away with it. Let's see, the Tower falls. Alright, we're gonna have to set things up a little bit differently, because now we're gonna fight Dragon Lords 1 through 3, and we're looking at a 30-minute endeavor, possibly. So obviously we're going to still have our critical facilities, 1, 2, and 3. Followed by dirty fighting, because we're going to be hitting that weak point a lot. We are probably going to have, whatchamacallit, hypercritical, and then we need one more. Now let's see, they're going to have fireballs shot at them, but I'm going to assume it's not on the same... It's just not on the same degree, honestly. It's not nearly as bad. So what could the next one go to? What should it go to? We don't really need special effect artists. I mean, it's a little janky to add for that extra 4% of free stuff, but because this would come in handy in the second fight, right here. Let's just go for breath. Oh, and let's see. Firm-footed. This stat isn't very much described, but let's look at the stat real quick. Blast resistance. Now, blast resistance is just knockback resistance. And funny enough, if you let that blast get to 100 resistance get to 100%, you get something. You get the rare feeling of getting a hard knockdown. And for those who play fighting game, a hard knockdown is a knockdown where you can't tech from. You will just go straight down from your current position, and you can't roll tech out of it to reposition yourself, which can be very fatal in some situations. to be put in a situation like that. I gotta use the bathroom, so I'll be right back. Back. Now we're going to continue where we left off and try to fight the Dragon Lord. And I'm going to explain why we need these items. Obviously, we need the prayer ring. Everyone's rocking some type of prayer ring because MP recovery is crucial to keeping the damage up as consistently as possible. Everyone rolling Strafe ring because Angel's on the field and he's offering oof, and it's very, very important. She's important too. Titan Belt is important for hitting the head of the Dragon Lord. Very, very important. It does quite a bit of damage. An exceed amount. Well, up to 40%, so close to 50. Dog Collar for ability damage, you know, just standard stuff. And then Socket Locket just because, well, she's a spell girl.
Well, hello.
Oops, you're not the one.
Welcome to our humble inn.
Alright, this. I think I'm gonna send this video to GameFAQs. Hope this works, by the way. I'll try to explain the attacks, by the way, too, because some of the attacks that the Dragon Lord uses needs to be explained. Because seeing people cartwheel through fire is I mean, it's funny. Don't get me wrong. It's real funny seeing people trying to cartwheel through that fire attack. Okay, you're thinking that's what I'm supposed to do, right? What else am I supposed to do? Sit there and die? I gotta get out of the way. But I also want to maintain position. Wait, is that why they stay in the fire and roll in the fire? just to maintain positioning. Like, you don't want to respect the Dragon Lord enough to back away from him, even something like that. Oh my gosh, that's why they do it. Okay, so he's about to go your range fire breath. Dodge roll is usually the best option. Now, unfortunately, your bots are kind of slow at it, so that's usually a free hit, unfortunately, in most cases. Alright, this is actually a spell. I know that sounds stupid, but see, like, for some characters, can deflect that and stop that spell from happening. Deflecting it back to him, doing some minor damage. But time makes me important. Let's see if he does another different spell. That's the range fire attack. Everyone else just dodging at the wrong time. Oh well, it happens. Now, when he does something like that, you have two options. You have to A, get underneath him as quickly as possible, or run away from him. Most characters have to run away from him when this happens. And the second fact, he's just lost in space. Alright, so it's similar to this other range one, because he does like a straightforward shot, and it hits another blast. Now, usually backing away is important, but funny enough, you can jump this. And stay in the air. But hitting that head is super important. I think that would have killed me if she hadn't multi-healed me. Go ahead and pop this. I'm also using the blocking method so I can just increase my defense. So I can get away with stuff like this consistently. I don't dodge it. I'll dodge it if I absolutely have to. Now this usually is painful for the bots to go through. And usually they get hit by it and nothing they can do about it sometimes.
Let's go.
Aim for that head, by the way. Do not be afraid. Gotta aim for that head. And try to block whatever you can. Supposing you're running a gladiator. I would assume most of you are running gladiators. If you know what's good for you. We can save her. Okay, so what you just saw there was a tag trick, and that comes in handy in the other fights, when you want to save a character from getting blown away. Probably wouldn't have killed her because she's a bot and they just take reduced damage, but still important. Alright, we're just gonna let him have this, or we can do this. Because it's a low, by the way. I'm gonna have to block that. Not so bad. We're blocking while we're doing normal attacks. We're waiting for Angela to give us something to work with, by the way. Any moment now. That just blows you away, not a big deal. Whenever Angela feels like it. Okay, and we need to accelerate this a bit.
Let's go. Here we go.
Oh, he was doing the fireball thing. I mean, I didn't get a chance to explain it, but it's a tier... It's the first Dragon Lord's fireball. It's not that bad. Dragon Hide. It's a so-so item. Alright, that wasn't so bad. So you've seen how it's done. Aiming for the head, having that equipment, and respecting his moves were all important and stuff. Okay, so let's see. Now we have the other fight, which is a little bit more different because the sad truth is that your teammates are probably going to die, and there probably isn't much that you can do about it. Unless, of course, you are willing to double stack on healers. Which, honestly, and you would think that Jessica would be a decent secondary healer, but no. Jessica is a little bit different because, unlike the other characters, she rolls out of the way if she thinks she's going to get hit. I mean, sure, it protects herself, but at the same time, it's like, hey, we need to heal. ASAP. Don't stop. Don't stop the heal. But for most people, she's probably the only other healer people have. And we're also going to talk about how bad Kirill is in these type of fights because, of course, there's a type of heal. They take away half of his healing ability because it's done with that circle and a regen effect. And, of course, he takes it away. So, let's see. And you have to go based on survivability here.
Consider me your personal.
These two will be putting a lot of work in. And there's just going to have to be some character changes. There's just no way around it, really. You're going to have to accept the fact that Jessica is going to have to be involved.
Not just a pretty face, you know. Don't be a stranger.
To some extent. Like, sorry guys, that's just how it goes. There's no way around it. If you want to actually have a chance of all your characters surviving. Otherwise, they just usually be dead. So we gotta bench her for a bit. Alright, let's see. They're both spellcasters. That's the thing. Now, she probably could get away with the tough guy tattoo stuff. Maybe. But do I really want to do that? Do I have multiple socket lockets? Actually, I gotta look at her spells. Let's see. What has she got that can help us? Obviously, Hustle Dance is gonna come in handy. Maybe Star Strike. Crackle, possibly. And, I mean, Sexy Beam is kind of slow. And Rebel Rouser is just situational. I guess Whipcrack is a decent electric move to have. So maybe we'll have this. For now. It's the best we got. I didn't even figure out the proficiency here. I've been playing it for 4,000 something. Am I missing anything? I'm not missing here for. Okay, sure. That takes care of that. Let's see, her skills don't really change. She's going to be primarily focusing on healing. She has a type of healing too. Alright, without going too extreme, because it really just comes down to these girls being survivors. Now, if you've played the Magic Maze enough time, there's a good chance you might have this life ring maxed out. Possibly. And let's see. We're gonna have to put Angelo in babysitter mode. So he's gonna run something like a block it, lock it, which increases his odds for reviving somebody, which is already a default 25 to begin with. With this, it's 50%. And let's see. You're not gonna really be switching to him that often, really, so we can afford him being a bit more sturdy compared to everyone else. And yes, it's referred to as Breath Blast. But we're gonna assume not everyone has this type of stuff, was willing to go through with it. Just like some of the most basic of basic things. Like, she can still get away with having the Strength Ring and Prayer Ring. We're gonna keep Firm Fluid so characters don't go flying off. We can sacrifice a little bit of this. I'll fix that later. It's a tier 4 is what it is. Because you need a lot of stuff for them to survive, by the way. A lot of stuff. To keep them around for, like... Now, usually I would suggest doing this by yourself. Is what I would suggest. But if you're somebody who wants to try to keep your teammates around as much as humanly possible, we're looking at Breath Bath, which is at 10% already. Then you have this right here. Talax. And maybe these are the only two you need. And then you gotta keep your other stuff for offenses, of course. Where are you at? Where's Hypercritical at? I must have it equipped already. No, I have that there. So I should have room for Hypercritical. Wherever it may be. I gotta keep this. Perhaps I don't need Dirty Fighting, I guess. Or better yet, I'll put this down to a 2. And then have Dirty Fighting. There. I think that's the most optimal one. And this is keeping bots alive in mind. And if you really want to go through that kind of trouble. Because, they're probably going to die, and there probably isn't much you can do about it, really. Hitting them all with, like, dragon orbs and stuff like that, and maybe some type of breath-resistant stuff might do the trick. Like, I can just go ahead and replace this, and you might have to look it up about where to find the mana marks. I want to say they're in the, Blood Rock Ravine, in the Dark World version of Red Rock Ravine. That's where I want to say they are. Do I have multiple life rings is the question. A champion choker. Like, we're gonna pretend we don't have too many monarch marks. Like, maybe 2 at best. I kinda wanna pretend I only have the 1, really. Alright, maybe she can't hit from a range, so we'll just have this. Life ring is like the very bare minimum we give the person. Her, let's see. What else could a person put on here? Please ignore the Uber Aces, as that I gotta make an entirely, completely different video about that, and because everything's random, and things have to be done differently. Unfortunately. Radically differently. Would a Beckoning Veil even be useful in this fight? Keep the enemies off of you. For your teammates. I would say this is kind of important too. The quake and roar resistance. So like an extent. Oh, I know what item I can put on differently. And this may not seem like much of an item, but extra defense does have its usefulness. Let's see. I think it's called a gold ring. Gold bracer. Okay. And blast resistance. Do I have blast resistance already on this? I don't think I have blast resistance. I do not have blast resistance. Well, I can sacrifice a little bit more, so this critical for Sills will go further down to have blast resistance. So characters don't go flying off the stage. And that's about as much I can offer. This, and this already gives me increased critical damage on the head. 10% plus the extra 7, so 17. Hypercritical when hitting critical hits, and extra defense guarding. Like I said, you could probably hit all these characters with monarch marks and have a better chance of surviving and stuff like that, but we're going to try to assume that you don't have that kind of time, but you do have to make time for having everyone have a strength range if you're serious about doing this fight, though. Like, everyone, unless, of course, we're in special cases like Mina and Jessica, who are spellcasters. And I guess don't mind the uber weapons. I mean, because let's see. If we were going to play this fair, you probably have this weapon by now. And for him, Angelo, we have this weapon by now. Causing Banels is fantastic. For here, we would have the Fate. Is this the best version? The Queen's Whip? Let me go check and see if the Queen's Whip really is the best we got. Minus the Uber edition, of course. Yep, that would be the strongest possible whip in the game, man. Alright. You might call this a slight handicap because we're not even using the stuff that we just spent time investing. But it's fine. This fight needs a little bit of prep work. Now, there is an easy way for me to do it, but again, we don't know. I mean, not everyone's willing to switch to Isla and completely curve stomp the boss, by the way. Which is a big, big difference. Because this girl right here, she is a Dragon Lord killer. But I think it's a psychological thing where people don't want to switch to a girl or something like that. I'm kind of like that with fighting games. I don't think I really have any girl characters I like using on the side, really. It's mostly guys. That's usually how it's kind of always been. You can't just switch it like that. Not on the dime, of course. Alright, best gear I could possibly have in the character, so, here we go, Dread. Alright, I think this is part 2. Yeah, the eyes are red, so this is part 2. Gonna pause it right here. Alright, so this is very important, because he'll use this multiple times during the fight. But essentially, he's using a altered version, a unique version of Kaklang. He will Kaklang himself at anyone in that circle. The idea here is to get within that circle. This is a noob trap, by the way. You have to run to that circle immediately and get Kaklang with them, because anything outside that space is obliterated with over 1,000 something damage. Completely unlivable unless, of course, you're unless, of course, under certain circumstances. Like if your guard ability is that intense. And maybe I'll make a separate video about that, surviving some of the harshest blows in the game. Because it is interesting thinking about it. best thing to do is hold circle or your charge button at this point. I'll try to pause and explain each move. We're still using the hold block button while using normal attacks. This can be jumped, so... Alright, now, he just started doing the fireballs. Now, since we have bots involved, there's two things to keep in mind. Where am I at, and where are my teammates at? Now, if you think he's aiming at you, you obviously want to try to veer that fireball away from your teammates. If you think he's targeting your teammate, the best thing to do is to do attack trick. Like, Angelo's in danger. And we just found out he's aiming at Angelo.
Let's go.
Yikes. Well, Jessica's trying the best she can. Here. And we have this so we can get out of here very quickly. And we also have Soaring Slash to get back in there quickly, too. Possibly aiming at Mina. Aiming at Mina for sure if that's confirmed.
Let's go.
Switch to her because it can get pretty bad.
This isn't like me. Let's go.
You have multiple healers, but she was just... I don't know, we all trust Mina for a reason. Alright, this attack is very nasty because there's a couple of ways to avoid it. Now, if depending on your class, you can naturally avoid it if it's happening, and you can just mindlessly attack. But for other characters, you have got to stop what you're doing, or at least be in midair when it happens. Now, I just got caught by it, without blocking, it looks like, as I wasn't blocking. Now, I can still get out of it. Now, if I don't get out of it, I think I'm dead. But I have enough block. Now, you see the bots actually sit there and block it. That's why you have that Pallet Axe to block that, to reduce damage as much as possible. They're gonna get, that's a free hit for them. Like, they don't try to dodge it or nothing. This attack is pretty nasty, and lucky Jessica can actually stop a portion of this attack. But the idea here is to run a little bit, when you have the circle, then jump.
Happy to oblige.
Let's go for a hustle dance.
Come on, everybody, hustle, hustle.
Let's go.
Don't know if he's aiming it, gotta figure out who's aiming it.
Destiny calls. Be gone. Multi here. The demon stirs. Happy to oblige. Punish them.
Can we tag him from here, I wonder? Oh, we can.
Let's go.
Aiming at Jessica, possibly. Switch targets. Okay. Well, her dying was important. Let's see. So, so when someone dies, you got to open up the menu and see where they are. So now I have an idea where they are. You're using Angelo. We're gonna try to run to him. And again, you're gonna always use Angelo to do the pickup, by the way, as much as you can.
I'm in trouble here.
You're actually dead here. I think he's following me. I think he's following me. We might have to use a heal for here. Get her back into place. Jump, air recovery, roll. In that order. I don't know if he'll survive this.
So sorry to keep
Got that freebie.
Let's go.
We hold this off in case he tries to take off our abilities, because he will try to do that periodically. Alright, we'll stay back right here. Things will get worse, by the way. Come out of the circle, jump.
Destiny calls. Take that.
Let's go.
Punish my foes.
I was backwards, that's why it knocked me back. Gotta try to get in there quickly, too.
Destiny calls.
Could cause some serious damage if she gets caught in that. We're healed.
Let's go.
Try to aim for that head. Actually, with Paladins, I think I can survive that. I'll test it one time, but I feel like it is possible to survive that blow. Land the shot. Get out of the circle, jump. I'll take the damage.
Tower falls.
Jump, air recovery, roll. Yikes.
Is a cruise.
Not so bad, not so bad, not so bad.
Must I do
Got a
everything
freebie.
myself?
I think, yeah, Jessica is fine in that range. Gotta wait a little bit. I'm sure she'll go for another one. Gotta switch to her to make sure she don't go down.
I think I'm in trouble here.
Come on, everybody, hustle, hustle. Mighty heals.
Let's go.
Alright, they looking out. Gotta run and jump.
Destiny calls. Be gone.
Let's go.
Sucks when that happens. Alright, second phase, pretty nasty. Things get a little bit worse. We gotta run back into him. We'll go ahead and get Angela going. Oh yeah, he's not looking good. That was very fortunate.
Let's go.
Jumping, that's also considered a low attack, by the way, even though it's over the head. Jumping and you'll be fine. Might be aiming at Angelo. Using Frost Flanget. Alright, come on, healer.
Let's go.
Oh, this is bad, actually. Depending on where she's at, she might be cooked. Oh, okay, look like that didn't happen. Gotta get in the center. We'll go ahead and hold circle. This is just a good practice to do. Woo, boy, that hurt. He might aim at me this time. I'll go ahead and pop a heal real quick.
I'm in trouble here.
Might pop another one, depending on his next move. Alright, we're good.
You're in.
Destiny calls. Happy to oblige. Come on, everybody, hustle, hustle. I'm in trouble here.
Alright, just a simple knockdown, not that bad. Ah! Oh gosh. We're stuck on this position.
Let's go.
Happy to oblige.
Let's go.
Hustle, hustle.
Alright, we can still get this revive off. This is just a little annoying because he makes you work for that revive.
Destiny calls. Swoosh.
Yeah, he got hit instead.
Let's go.
Had to block that. There was nothing I could do about that.
I think I'm in trouble here.
Alright, now if that happens to you right there, and I think he's aiming at me, he shoots in a checkered pattern, so the best thing to do is to dodge forward, dart backwards in a nice little distance. Okay, he's aiming at the girl, actually.
Is a
I think I'm in trouble here. Full heal. I think
Good thing I could survive that. It's getting a little iffy near the end. With 2 more heals left. He's probably dead. Alright, when it comes to Angelo dying, he's the one that usually revive. Wow. Not so bad, not so bad. Alright, he flies.
Hey, wake up.
Let's go.
1 left, too.
This can't be happening.
Alright. Let's see, so who to revive? Honestly, it'd just be Angelo and 1 more important heal at this point. You gotta say, it's pretty difficult to even maintain this kind of power consistently. Very, very hard to maintain. And trying to get your team back up, because he is just looking for an opportunity to take advantage of you. Just looking at my options. I'll take it. obviously not meant for your character to survive this much. Now, I could probably end this with Angelo. Got really lucky there. Just looking at my options. Can't be at the center stage or I get cooked. Yes, even jumping is even possible. We'll probably show off dodging that fireball thing one more time because it's kind of important. Or no, he'll do that. So he looks for it. He looks for it. The second you think you're gonna get away with it, you're like, no, I need you here. Probably could kill him from this range. I don't think he's gonna let me do it. This fight really isn't meant for like bots, honestly. Like, there's so much effort I have to put into just to increase my odds. Fighting it solo is usually the best course of action. Alright, I think I can end you now. And I will. Yeah, funny enough, this is going to happen in the third fight too, but slightly different. Alright, it's always an aces boy when it comes to fighting this guy. Now, I guess that was something that I forgot about, that little detail about fighting him, killing him within the time limit. Obviously, that took a lot more time. And you need a more faster method of doing it. And granted, there are faster methods of doing it. It's just a matter of just, you can't spend too much time reviving your teammates whatsoever. But we're going to go ahead and skip that. We're going to go straight to the devastating and get to the meat and potatoes of everything. To what you came here for. So luckily we don't need too much of these, resistances at all. But we do have to change a lot, though. Change the focus of characters. Let me just back up and think about this carefully. We don't even need these two anymore, as the damage output of that fire breath is reduced significantly. We will carry Wing Clipper because there's a very particularly annoying enemy type that shows up in this fight. We will need this because, for insurance. And good grief. Dirty fighting, sure. Hypercritical 3, yes. What am I missing now? Critical sounds. It's kind of fun to have both of them, but you kind of need both. Maybe firm-footed. Maybe. Alright, there is a team suggestion behind this. And again, this is if you don't feel like switching to a girl. But you would switch to a better guy, wouldn't you? I mean, I would introduce you to, Spiro. Pizarro. As he's probably the best character in the game. I don't say Angelo was, but like, on Nooch, when it comes to being by himself and stuff like that, probably the best character. Angelo's still a support character. His fights depend on certain things. If we're not using the Uber gear and stuff like that. Okay, so let's see, how do I do this? I need her gone. We can get away with like one healer in this fight. You gotta be very delicate about how we go about things. We need her as a second.
Time to put my training into practice.
I need...
I knew you would choose me.
her...
It was
Consider me.
Don't be a stranger.
Does he need it? Well, he kind of needs it, honestly. Let's see. We definitely need Strength Ring. We definitely need Prayer Ring. And we need Lock It to try to keep people alive. Let's see. We need the... Now, it's a little bit interesting with her because it's a little bit different. We obviously need the Prayer Ring. Obviously. And we need a very unique type of accessory. The mechanical monocle. And last but not least, a socket locket. And that would be her setup. We probably run this too for some type of breath resistance. We know there's going to be more than breath resistance to worry about, but that's just how it's going to have to be for right now. It's probably going to be Titan Bell, Strength Ring, and Prayer Ring. Let's see, Strength Ring, Prayer Ring, and... it might still be Titan Belt because that's still going to be important because as gladiators you can break enemies' defenses and that sort of thing is super duper important. I guess she has a power shield, so there's that, and we can roll, whatchamacallit, Gaia Orb. Alright, skills that matter. I know I didn't really use the, what was it called? Cold Fusion, which would have been useful for tagging that head, honestly, but you kind of want to be up close and personal with a lot of the fighting he's doing here, so Sword and Slash has its uses for positioning. I mean, Sword and Slash is good, don't get me wrong, it's still very good, and there probably are other options, but when you need to get enemies off of you and stuff like that, it's a good move for getting in there and swinging. Now we'll leave the whole, whatchamacallit, let's see. Alright, she's a warrior. We're gonna assume you have two gladiators, so let's just fix this real quick. Even though she can run warrior to stop a certain effect. But we kinda need her damage output because it has to be pretty massive. We're looking at a 20-minute loss if we get this. We mess this up the first time around. Oh, she's not even at full power either.
Be all that you can be.
Well, she's not going to be there for the end game, so we're not going to worry about it too much.
May you fight.
She's going to be responsible for sword and shield nonsense. Huh, what is the strongest sword and shield?
Your true calling.
Oh boy, oh boy. This was probably never discussed.
Hey, watch out.
Because that's it. Wait. Eldrick, Eldrick. Do we have the key? Fieldstone. Crap. Or did we need it? Okay, let's see.
The Seven Realms needs your help.
Yep, I have not done that quest yet. Great. Alright, well, we don't really have time for that, so, that's gonna be a little irritating to do that.
Hey, watch out.
Now, it probably doesn't matter too much. I mean, it's just a 10% difference. Which may not seem like much. But there are no better blades than that. Aside from coughing up money to get the ugh. And maybe I don't mind doing that, by the way, because you do get a refund for that sort of thing. So we'll make a small exception and get this weapon right here. To keep things fair. As we know, we'll definitely get a, or better yet, I guess I don't have to, yeah, I don't even have to save the data, I just realized that.
Just take it already. Now scream.
Yeah, that's as being as fair as possible. The healing factor is so good on that, you gotta keep it. Alright, let's see. Something to keep in mind. We're actually going to switch this up a little bit, because, I would say this is relatively important, because she has an awful time building up tension anyway. But your character building up tension would probably be extremely important, because that's not her role in the first place. Oh my gosh, I'm just now realizing that. Like, it's not really important for the build meter. Him, building meter, very important. Probably very crucial from the half meter start his offensive pressure. Gaia orb to keep her alive. Yes. Alright, we have Hurt Converter. Her own healing. Flame Slash, hard hits. Spinferno, and Warren Reaper. No Blind Man's Bit because that takes too long. Alright, those are okay. We have the most fair and honest equipment we can get our hands on. Titan Bell, Strength Ring, and Prayer Ring. Now that's going to come in handy a little bit later because it all comes down to tactics. And if we can make it work too. I really did go Titan Belt with this guy, huh? We're just gonna make sure he survives. Give him a life ring in addition to it, but she already has it. And we're gonna just say we want any character to supposedly be the one, in case things go south. Like, if it happens. Like, both of these could be the one to do it. These two, not so much. Alright. That's the best I can do. I guess I'll check the ace I got. That'll decide whether or not I should save or not, but, garbage. Ugh. What time is it? Not something. Okay. Sorry this is taking so long, but we're talking about the Dragon Lord fight. It is a fight that you have to very much prepare for. I'll try to explain stuff as they're going on and pause if necessary. Now, there is a better setup for this team, but this, like I said, we're using a standard team by Smiley Jack on how he could have done this. And I think the girl was, I believe the girl was a gladiator. It can be done with her being just a warrior. It's a slightly different role.
Come back soon.
And I think Angela has Bedazzle control. Yeah, Hyper Sniper.
Welcome to our humble inn.
Alright, it's kind of like the same thing, but with a couple of small changes.
Leave it to me.
Let's go.
This doesn't hurt as bad, so we can afford that. Alright, you see the big purple lightning, you gotta dodge out of the way.
Destiny calls.
Jump to avoid that.
Let's go.
The best thing to do is to run, dodge, run, dodge, run, and dodge. Because the pattern changes a little bit differently. I think he's aiming at me, which is fine. I'm okay with this. I think he's going to fly away. I think he is. Okay, so when his HP gets a room between the A and R, you have got to buckle up, because this is where it gets really nasty. Make sure your gladiator's ready. I just got a boost. I need to pick a lane and stick with it. Go ahead and Frostfang. Trying to kill those mall keepers. Come on, come on, come on.
Let's go. Don't come back.
Where are they at? We keep them distracted. Alright, the dragon's here, so that's really bad. Gotta go ahead and take care of that dragon immediately.
Leave it to me.
Ooh, that's a pretty bad, pretty bad. I think our dude actually got the max tension, so gotta try to get to him as quickly as possible. We usually use dive kick to get where we need to be at.
Must I do everything myself?
With a full heal. We gotta take care of that nasty crowd.
Let's go.
We'll take the block to get the Okay, maybe I can now focus on killing these guys now. Nah, I can't have that. I'm already low on reserves here.
Leave it to me.
Angel's gotta come first.
Up and at 'em. You win.
So I can get a freebie. No freebie.
Let's go.
Bear in mind, this is very sloppy, by the way. Should be less sloppier than this. Ooh, boy.
Destiny calls.
Gotta dodge for her on this one. Okay. We will call that one a reset. I mean, I could get through here, but we're gonna call that a reset. Because they wouldn't let me dodge. At that point, I should have just let someone else do the dodging there.
Come back soon.
Alright, a little sloppy.
Welcome to our humble inn.
There were a couple of things I wasn't expecting on
Come
here,
back
too.
soon.
This thing right up.
Indeed.
Sure, we'll take a little bit extra.
Use it what? Focus.
Yeah,
Always.
deafness does really help.
Welcome to our humble inn.
Alright, we'll try this again. Same team. Up again. I might honestly just suggest the other character to use, by the way. It is a landslide with her.
In trouble here.
Well, actually thinking about me.
Leave it to me. Flame slash. Destiny calls. Swoosh. Mighty heal.
You ready?
Let's go.
Or this again.
Inferno slash. Destiny calls. Take that. Mighty heal.
And for that head, he doesn't keep it down low enough for you to get to it.
Destiny calls.
I think it's low enough. Now, if you see him winding up, that's when you usually make your move right then and there.
Destiny calls. Take that.
Let's go.
Crap.
Destiny calls. Be gone. Mighty heal.
You in? Let's go.
Leave it to me. Mighty heals.
I'll take the hard knockdown. Lame.
Mighty heal.
Let's go.
We'll take it, we'll take it.
Hold on to your hat. Gigagash.
Alright, let's see. Gotta get everyone back to normal.
Destiny calls.
You're in.
Mighty heal.
We're in pain just to take care of that guy. Always at the edge of the map. Always at the edge of the map. If you can't deal with them right away. Except for maybe now. Gotta wait for a bit now. Freebie. I think Mina gets hit for this.
I sense defeat.
Full hail.
Hate that I had to use one there.
Let's go.
Not so bad. You can block or dodge. Alright, just a standard dropping fireball thingy.
Leave it to me. Here, Destiny calls.
I think she was looking out.
Let's go.
Human stars.
Alright, lightning attacks, like you said. Obviously you have to manually walk away from these little sparks in the ground, but then you have the big purple one where you have to, like, dodge. And that's aimed directly towards you.
Destiny calls.
Let's go.
Alright, things get a little nasty here. Adds like 2 new attacks, I believe. More AoE nonsense. Like this right here. Where it just targets the player. See how this works. I actually could parry that. Alright, we've seen that blast before.
Leave it to me. Inferno! Destiny calls.
Let's go.
Don't think it completely kills, but it gets close. That's directly aimed at her. Remember that fire is jumpable. That ground fire. Block it if you don't think you can dodge it in time. Blocking is still very important. Okay, second phase. Alright, so there's a couple ways to do this fight, but essentially you want to kind of end it on, whatchamacallit, max tension with your main character. Because there's a lot of stuff you can do here, but what you really want to do is just buckle down. Sure, do the necessary kills you have to do, but get your necessary kills, and you want to huddle in the corner. So we're just going to ahead and focus on getting on necessary kills. Oh, I should also mention that the this fort is weaker than the last one. They drop a bit faster compared to the last guys.
Leave it to me. Full heal.
Ah, crap. Alright, where is she at?
Let me down. Leave it to me. Flame slash. Whirlwind reaver. Let me down.
Got a freebie again.
Leave it to me.
Alright, he might be the one that dropped the tambourine. Okay, he dropped the tambourine. Now some of these, well, it's predetermined about who drops it. Now that we have this tambourine here, we need to just find a good corner and hold it. We on defense mode now.
Leave it to me.
And that's what she's for.
Let me down. Destiny calls. Swoosh. Beam stars.
Where is he at? Where is he at? Where is he at? He's our key for winning this. And he got stuck somewhere.
Must I do everything myself?
So they gotta kill the dragon.
Let's go.
Leave it to me. Let me down. Destiny calls. Be gone. Multi-heal.
Let's go.
Leave it to me.
Alright, pretty bad, pretty bad.
Destiny calls.
Looks pretty bad, but it's not the end of the world. We have what we need. We don't particularly need her anymore. We're just gonna use our speed stat to push us through. We can actually chill here for a bit. Woo! Gotta pop that. Hate that I had to pop it so soon, but... Alright, now we gotta figure out which one has the one we're looking for. We're looking for tambourines. We're looking for tambourines. Who has my tambourine? Alright, I see a tambourine. I almost got clipped there. This is the hardest part, by the way. It's just a big, massive combo on combo. Alright, if I can't end him here, I think that's it, honestly. I can do it. Gotcha, okay. Oh boy, I know that's asking a lot for a new person to go through all that in one go, hitting triple tambourines and making it. But that is essentially how it goes down. Unfortunately. There is no easy, even with my best character, it still ends in like that, where everyone's essentially dead, you're doing this and get low health, and you're keeping your attack boost raised. Consistently. No other way. Unless, of course, you're in a co-op environment. In which case, it's essentially the same thing, but the enemies have double health, but by that point, you probably have a bunch of power behind that. So I hope I'd left some examples behind that fight. Because taking care of those dudes is kind of rough, by the way. That dragon can snipe you pretty easily if you're not paying attention with its fire breath. And then it has this rapid charging attack where it bites constantly and it does a massive amount of damage. Really, really irritating. Very, very irritating. Because dealing with mobs and him at the same time can be rough. Scary, even. I even ran out of power at that point, but I had just enough to take care of it. What's my equipment again? That type belt was crucial. The shrimper is crucial. Probably could have replaced that with something else, but we needed the extra meter, unless of course we're really going to rely on her to do all the extra work, which I don't think that was possible, really. It was terribly rough. And the block it lock it did was a little bit of safer. I mean, if you want to get extra safe, both of these, you can have two healers if you want to in that fight, but as you can see, you kind of need some offense here and there, and you use her tag trick the same way you use her tag trick almost, except you throw a bubble that does about maybe 3,000 damage, possibly, I think, around that ballpark. It does a lot of damage. Alright, almost 2 hours. It's like I've gotten back into the old, well, actually, maybe 3 hours, I suppose, considering the actual 30 minutes time. Well, it was 15 minutes, then 30 minutes, and then this. But boy, was it worth it. That Pale Pearl is definitely something I would consider trading in, by the way, very important. Enchanted Stone, not so much. Those are from Stone Golems. Alright, it's just to humor you guys who actually know how aces work. We'll take a look at the ace and see how trash it is. Pitiful. Oh, that's about it. Well, they weren't the best aces. I could just leave here and just reset right there. Like, I don't really have to... Because I plan on doing something better with this, I plan on doing something a bit better. A little bit. Like, something that involves maybe getting this gladiator up to maximum level, stuff like that. Like, I don't really have to save my game. The only thing I'd be missing out on is the extra money that I earned. And, well, it's money. I'll get plenty of that when I do, multiple Magic Maze runs. Might still record myself doing a Maze of the Mighty run with some magic usage. Just kind of depends on my mood, really. Anyway, that's the best way I can describe fighting that boss fight, really. As it's pretty nasty. I mean, I got really, really lucky with the fireballs pattern like that, and kind of sort of panic and just dodge in a particular angle, hoping that he wouldn't tag me and stuff like that. And sometimes you kind of have to, you want to aim at him, but sometimes you can't aim at him sometimes, and looking at him is the best thing you can really do at that point, essentially. Like, it kind of sucks. Aggressively, it sucks pretty badly that it has to be done like that, but that's how you do it, essentially. Like I said, if you want an easier version of this and you're willing to use other characters, I'll show you another character who just cleaves through that boss fight. If it's just you want to get through that boss fight and I don't care how it's done, other than, you know, multiplayer, but again, won't be doing multiplayer until next month, and I'm sticking to my guns this time. I know the last time I did this game, it was like, somebody asked, and I was like, what the hell, I'll just join. For like 2 extra players, sure, why not? Here, a little bit different though. Puts me on edge. How crazy that fight can be near the end. All those monsters. Oh, and you couldn't tell, but the monsters do get significantly weaker with every spawn again. And there were like 2 more waves of monsters, one on completely opposite sides of him. So it's a co-op situation. You gotta know how to split up and when to split up, and take care of your horde. And hopefully the drag you have max tension by the time it happens, because it can get nasty. And I tried doing this with Maribel one time, who just happened to have enough power to take care of it, by the way. Enough reflexes, enough dodging, all that was possible. Let's see. Well, that's about it. It's almost 2 hours. I think I did good. Won't save. We'll probably use this, so I get my mini medals back. And I'll do this later. Take care, people.